Hello, it's been such a long while since I posted on my YouTube channel, but I'm here to teach you how to do Douyin Xiaohongshu Chinese cosplay makeup. I've already uploaded a tutorial like this on TikTok, but I thought on YouTube I would post a more in-depth version. So without further ado, if you're new here, make sure you're subscribed and let's get on with this tutorial. So first you want to start off with enlarging contacts. I typically for cosplays like to wear 14.5mm for reference. I'd say the average person's eye is about 14mm. So this one is visibly enlarging, and that's a lot of the time it's what's going to really tie the look in together. So I would say, I get asked this a lot, are contacts necessary? And I would say yes, contacts are a pretty damn worthy investment. Next we are going to prime our eyelids. You guys know me, I'm a big fan of the Plouise eye primer. And I'm not going to talk too much about what it does, but this is going to make your colours pop, it's going to make your makeup hold and sit really nicely, and I'm just going to put that basically all over the lid. Next up, we're going to finally move on to the eyes. This is the palette that I use pretty much for the entire look. This is the cheeryep 16 palette in the name Starcore. This is what the palette looks like. If you haven't seen my reviews on this brand, get to know this is the highest quality eyeshadow formula I've probably ever tried, and I mean, it's just incredible. So this is what we're going to use for the look. So to get into really intricate eye looks like this, I really recommend that you invest in a small pack of cheap nail art brushes. The really small tips of these brushes are really going to help create that like detail and those little, you know, lines that you need in these kinds of eye looks. So this is what the brush I'm going to use, and I'm going to dip into this black shade, and basically I'm going to look at my creases here. We're actually going to find something positive in our eye creases, and I like to start here because it's always easier to start off smaller than bigger in my opinion. And we're going to stamp the colour and basically bring it down following, you know, that natural eye crease. You see where I'm filling that in there? And we're going to create a line down. This is going to be where our eyes essentially get bigger. Then I'm going to draw a line out exactly where the outer portion of my eye ends. I'm going to bring it out and then go under and kind of create this weird C shape. And as you can see on this side, that is where our fake eye is going to begin. Then you're going to go upwards and connect it to your inner tear duct and add eyeshadow all the way over here, but stop because we haven't gotten to the upper eyeliner stage of the look yet. So now what we're going to try and mimic is this kind of under eye pink layer that lives in your eyeball. We're basically going to make it look like our eyeball's been stretched. So again, on another really thin detailed nail brush, we're going to take a kind of shade that mimics that kind of tone, again within the same palette, and we're going to fill in this little artificial eye pot that we've created. And the good thing about A, using a really pigmented formula, and B, on a really tiny brush, is it literally takes 2 seconds. And there you go, you've already reached one step closer to having the biggest eyes on the planet. Alright, now going back in with that black eyeshadow and that really thin brush, we're going to create this artificial kind of crease. So as you can see, I have quite a small crease, but a lot of upper eyelid space. And I'm going to kind of make a fake... I'm just going to make a fake crease, basically. We're going to reinvent our eyes to make them a lot larger. So I'm just going to zoom you in a little bit. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a kind of stamping motion and kind of plot out where I want my eyeshadow to go. I'm actually going to take a lot of this into my eyebrow. And then once it's reached the peak of my eyebrow, to kind of give it that droopy 1920s shape, I'm going to go down like this until I reach my natural crease. So simultaneously we have actually still extended the eye to obviously match the bulging droop down here, but we've also created that really sad droopy shape. When I'm doing these kinds of looks, what I like to do is I like to create my structures first before blending and adding more in, just so I know where my placements can go. Now we're going to start by blending this upper crease bit. I'm going to go in with this really dark olive shade in the pan, and I'm going to start in my eyebrow and kind of wiggle the eyeshadow just to blend that kind of harsh edge that we made. And by blending it into the eyebrow, because you've already got that dark contrast there, it's going to honestly give a lot more of, I don't know, like a droopy effect. That's basically all I can really say, because that's all we're really trying to achieve. And I'm taking this on a lot more of a fluffy brush. You don't want this to be too dense so you can distribute the pigment. And don't worry if it gets too messy for now. As you can see, we do achieve a lot more of a clean slate later. So just keep blending it and kind of blend it into your nose bridge as well. We want to give more of an effective, more space here rather than in here. We kind of want to suffocate and make the eye feel a little bit claustrophobic. And just keep kind of blending and then blend down the brow bone like so. As you can see, by adding in all of that shadow, we've now left this really exposed open area of our eye, which has made the eye look bigger with just a few steps, and we're not even done yet. Now for this look, you want to take a matte highlighter. I am using the one by Flortte in the shade 02. This is a really good brightening powder that honestly works really well to contrast dark eyeshadow, so I would really recommend one of these if you want to get into xiaohongshu makeup, K-beauty, or even just cosplay makeup. I think this is a very underrated makeup tool for cosplayers, and you want to take it on this kind of curved shape brush. I got mine off of Temu in a 2-pack. And you obviously want to get right into it, and you just want to go in and basically clean up those edges. If so, you can go in with a little bit more of that eye primer, but this is basically where I'm putting it, and then bringing it down in kind of like a shimmy motion just to kind of brighten up the under eye. Now we're going to go back in and kind of redefine our harsh lines. I'm going to go back in with that eyeshadow, the black eyeshadow, on the same little detailing brush, and just on more of the outer portion of the eye, I'm going to bring back any kind of harsh dimension that I want and kind of reinforce that outside crease line. So as you can see, I'm kind of tracing it, and because this eyeshadow is so pigmented, it's so easy to get this effect. And again, once again, you can always, oh, wrong brush, you can always go back and add any more blending that's needed. Like so. So far it should be looking like that. I just dropped my mirror. That's great. Now it's everyone's favorite portion of the tutorial, which is the eyeliner. I love the Flower Nose eyeliner. This is from, I'm not really sure what collection this is from, but this is what the eyeliner looks like. And I'm basically gonna draw quite an unconventional eyeliner style. Let me show you. So it kind of starts in your inner corner, and then instead of just going straight over the eye, and again, here's a tip for eyeliner, stamp the eyeliner instead of dragging it. I always stamp it to kind of create like a guideline for myself. And when doing looks like this, I kind of just begin by stamping it over the whole lid just so I can build up, because it's easier to build up rather than take away, especially in a look where you've already added so much detail. And then you go back and you kind of create a hill where your eye, what's it called? The iris, where your actual eye is. So it should end about here and it should start around here. So it's gonna kind of create this weird hill shape and then stop just where your eye ends. Can you see that? Right there. And then keep following your natural eye down, and then where you've placed that line, where that fake eye begins, you're gonna wing it out like so. You can keep the eyeliner quite droopy, obviously, because that's the kind of look we're trying to achieve anyway with this entire makeup look. You can kind of, you know, let it get a bit messy and just wing it out like that. And that's the kind of look you should have. It should kind of go up, rise like a mountain, and then come down and swoop out like a river. I feel kind of poetic there. Now, once we have the placement of that eyeliner, I'm going to take whatever's left on this brush that we used to apply this olivey shade and kind of just wing the eyeshadow outwards, like so. Now, in my reference that I'm using, this look does have a little bit of a shimmer to it, so I'm going to put just a little bit of glitter. I'm going to take this, let's just swatch it first of all, just so I can kind of really sell you on this eyeshadow palette. Look at the intensity of that silver. If you guys aren't influenced by now of cheeryep eyeshadows, you really need to get to know. So anyway, we're going to pick up that silver shade, and again, a really small nail art brush, and we're just going to pop it on the inner corner. And see, the formula is just so buttery and smooth. It doesn't even need any, it doesn't even need a tacky surface. It will literally just bind all by itself. Yeah, and we're just going to keep that very fixated on the inner corner. We don't really want to put too much sparkle because then that's going to kind of dull down the sharpness of the look. And, oh, let me turn here. So as you can see, we're literally just keeping it on the inner corner. You can drag it down if you want to kind of meet the eye extension, but just keep it around this place. You can even use some on your nose and your nose bridge. Now for probably my favourite bit of these kinds of eye looks, the absolutely fucking massive aegyeosal. Aegyeosal is basically the, I guess, Korean term for under eye fat. I believe in China they call it some kind of variation of like silkworm, or is that what they call the products? I'm not too sure, but in a lot of East Asian makeup they will kind of accentuate this kind of pocket of under eye fat, and I think it kind of adds to the kind of sleepy, tired element of this makeup look. So now, again, going in with the same palette, we're going to pick up the same kind of pinky shade that we used to create our under eye bags and just kind of create a base for ourselves. The base can be quite messy because I always find that aegyeosal, when it's drawn in just like a simple straight line, can look kind of awkward. So I always like to give it a bit of a base. Especially with this look, I kind of wanted to make it look like we are crying, so I'm taking a mix of like this kind of deep mocha brown and that same kind of pink and just kind of creating a base. And you don't have to be too perfect with this because, like I said, this is just kind of act as a transitional guideline for the actual aegyeosal itself. Then I'm going to go in with the same little eye brush, go in with like a mix of the olive and the black, and I'm going to actually trace out the aegyeosal itself. Now because we've laid that base down, this is going to add a really nice contrast and really bring everything together. So literally, again, stamping motions, we're literally going to just stamp and drag, stamp and drag. And I just kind of like to follow the natural curve of the new under eye, like so. And there you go, it's literally so simple. It's all about highlight, contrast, and details. It's that easy. Now, a lot of you ask me how to do this. And it's actually a lot more simple. Now, when it comes to drawing fake eyelashes, I like to use two different eyeliners. Again, I have my black flower nose eyeliner. This is your standard classic black eyeliner. And then I have this judydoll one in shade 06 black grey. Now, by having two kinds of eyeliners, you can really create that dimension of hair color in your eyelashes. So let me elaborate. I'm not very good at explaining things. So when you look at your natural hair color, your hair isn't just one solid color. That also applies for your eyebrows and your eyelashes. So to make things look more realistic, even though we're doing such a cartoonish look, I like to obviously mimic that, the whole thing of hairs having two different colors, and I like to go in with a more muted shade and also a dark shade to kind of pack in that punch. So I'm going to teach you how to do it. First you go in with the lighter eyeliner, and as you can see you need a really, really thin tip for this. And you want to start, I like to start from the outer portion of my eye, start from the little line and just flick, 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 flick down, and then I like to make another one right next to it, and then I like to flick it so it kind of overlaps together. Flick up, because that's how the reference looks, flick down, flick down, flick down. As I get to my actual like tear area, my little under eye, I do find that it gets a little bit harder. I feel there's more of a resistance from my eyeliner, but you know, just kind of change the direction, kind of make it more, what is it, horizontal or vertical? I don't know, hold it like this, and again, just keep adding that detail. So you should look like this. You should have a sort of muted grey kind of base for your fake eyelashes. And now we're going to go in with our second eyeliner and kind of add the darker eyelashes. So again, same, but you're going to be a lot more strategic and sporadic about the placement. You know, you're going to kind of overlap a few eyelashes. So not all of them, just a few. And as you can see, sorry, that was really annoying. So as you can see, it's just kind of created a lot of depth there. Like so. And there we go. It's as easy as pie. And sometimes I like to go in and just kind of correct the under eye tear whatever you want to call it. There's a lot of layers to this look. You're gonna be here a while. But yeah, that is basically how I draw on my bottom lashes. It's literally a flick of the wrist. You're welcome. Alright, can you believe we're almost done? I can, because this looks actually way easier than it looks. So now, honestly, what was the main focus of this look for me was the weird little white details. So I'm gonna take a white eyeliner. This is from the brand 17. It's the Ink Legend Tattoo Liner in white. And we're basically just gonna go in very steady lines. This is going to be very, very steady. And we're gonna create these little details. So take your eyeliner, kind of map out where your placements are gonna go, and literally flick the wrist. Flick the wrist. It's that easy, just flick the wrist. And again. Flick the wrist. Flick that wrist. And you can be kind of messy with your placements. It's not really I don't know. I feel like for cosplay makeup, it's not really a big deal. As long as you've got your baselines down, any kind of accessory details that you want afterwards should just kind of be quite fun and personal to whatever look or character you're doing. There's a few little lines here. I always like to wipe a bit of the product off on the lid before I actually go in, because then I don't want too much product coming off. I have actually already made that mistake here. Oh my god, damage control! But it's fine. If you make any mistakes, just take, again, a really small brush. I'm just gonna kind of blend it in. See that? Look at that, it's like it never happened. We can cover up any mistake here. And there's even a little detail underneath. Can you see that? It's so... I don't know how to describe it. It's just so flick of the wrist. And then again, the reason we made that mountain of eyeliner is because there's a little few details that are supposed to go here as well. If it's too difficult, I'd just say put one line of eyeliner. I'm just gonna leave it there because I don't want to mess around with it too much. But that is pretty much it for the details. Now all we have to do is lashes and we're done. It was that easy, guys. Maybe the true makeup look was the friends we made along the way. So now we're gonna do lashes. In this look, I don't really see many dramatic lashes, but I am just gonna add a few on because that is what is in my reference. I'm going in with the Essence I Heart Extreme Mascara just to give my lashes a bit of a base and to cover up any powders or base products that might be kind of clouding up the lashes. And adding mascara before putting your false lashes on just kind of allows for them to have a seamless base to apply to. And I'm going in with my lash clusters. These are from JSio lash. I'm not really sure how you pronounce that, but JSio lash. And I believe my lap mash is 10, 12, 14, and 16. This is my favorite lash glue. It's messy, but it's incredible. It's the Kiss Lash Adhesive, and it's also latex free because I know latex is a very common eye allergy. I just put a little bit on the back of my hand. Where are my tweezers? They're somewhere. Now, if you've been following my tutorials for a very long time, you know that I have a very strategic method because I have droopy eyes to do my lash clusters. So when I'm doing my first two, usually lash clusters, I will put them on underneath the eye. And let's do another one while we're on camera. This is 12 now going in with. Again, the second one, I like to brush up the lash a few times just so the glue can get a bit tacky on the eyelash. And then I stick it and release it. Lash clusters do take a bit of practice, but once you've got it, you've got it. Now I'm going in with a 14 and I'm doing this all on camera to show you that, you know, once you've got it, you've got it. Now, instead of going underneath this time, I like to put it on top, like so. Oh, maybe not like so. Let's give it another try. There we go. And then I'm going in with one more, which is 16. Picking up the glue on the back of my hand. I think I might need a bit more. And once again, there we go. I'm just going to pinch them a little bit and push them into shape and let them dry. And that's it, our lashes are on. And that is pretty much the eye look done. Now we're gonna move on to just a bit of extra details. Alright, now for extra details, I want a bit more smokiness in my look, so I'm gonna literally just go back in with a little detail brush on some black, and I'm just gonna go in and build up a bit more darkness on the outer portion. These bits are kind of more optional. You don't have to go in and add more, but I like a bit more, you know, everything. Like so. I'm also just going to deepen up my egg yolk a bit more. How dark you like your egg yolk is completely up to you. I am known for having egg yolk blindness, so I in fact love too much egg yolk. It's my favorite part of any look. It also just makes so much of a difference whether you're doing it for like a cosplay look or if you're doing it for a natural everyday look. I think it's just, I don't know, it's really good. But yeah, now I'm gonna do my blush. Now I love the Kaleidos blushes. I forgot which one this was called. I think this one's called Ecstasy, but it's this really nice corally blush. And when I do my blush, honestly, I used to go in with brushes like these, but notice how when I put that on my face, that's just gonna go everywhere, and I hate that. So I like to take a lot more of a small brush. This is the Flower Nose one from their new collection. Shimmy it in and just kind of stamp it on the cheek, building up layers if I need to, but it's not really needed with this blush because it's so pigmented. Alright, that's it really. I'm also going to go in and add some of my contour now. Today I used the Judydoll palette, and I'm literally just going to shimmy my little Flower Nose blush in. I have another one, of course I do. And I like to do what's called perimeter contouring. So I've always said that when it comes to blush and contour placements on chubby faces, it is going to be a lot more different. But what I like to do is I like to start down here and kind of contour, again, the perimeters of my cheekbones. I don't like to bring it in too far in. I just kind of like to keep it more around, because then you're kind of shrinking your face inwards instead of trying to build up cheekbones. I think it's a lot more of an effective technique than, you know, trying to follow what all the skinny face people say, because they are all liars and they are all perfect anyway, so I should really listen to you. I'm joking. But, you know, just kind of build up that contour, shimmy it in. I would kind of, I'm really bad at explaining things, guys. What I like to do is I like to have a lot more shadow coming from this way and have my mirror facing me that way, so that way I can see where the natural shadows of my face occur, as you can see, and then kind of put the contour on top of that, because again, contour is supposed to mimic a natural shadow. When I'm doing cosplay, the only thing I do differently is I just put a lot more on, because I can get away with looking slightly more uncanny. But again, I don't like to put it all the way up here, because then I just feel like it doesn't really make sense. I feel like following your natural contour will make you look effectively a lot slimmer anyway. So here is the finished look. I'm actually quite proud of it. I am still quite new myself to Chinese cosplay makeup, but if there's any other looks that you want me to try, make sure you like, comment and subscribe. And if you try any of my looks, feel free to email me a picture of them at the email in my description. I hope you guys have a great day, and thank you so much for watching.